Far, far beneath the shimmering waves, in a kingdom of coral castles and iridescent seaweed, lived a young mermaid princess. She had eyes as deep and green as the ocean itself, filled with a boundless wonder for the world beyond her own. While her sisters were content with the melodies of the sea, her heart was a compass, always pointing upward, yearning for the sun-kissed world above. This is the story of her journey, a tale of love, sacrifice, and the search for an immortal soul. She would spend her days listening to tales from her grandmother, stories of humans with two strange fins they called legs, who walked upon the dry land under a vast blue ceiling they called the sky. She dreamed of this world, of feeling the warmth of the sun on her skin, of seeing the twinkling lights called stars that her grandmother described as diamonds scattered across a dark velvet cloth. From her hidden grotto, she would gaze at the surface, a shimmering barrier between her world and the one she so desperately longed to know. The muffled sounds of the world above were like whispers of a life she could only imagine, fueling a curiosity that grew stronger with each passing day. One fateful evening, the sky turned a dark, angry grey. A ferocious storm descended upon the sea, a tempest of thunder and wind that churned the waves into monstrous mountains. A grand ship, sailing too close to the turmoil, was tossed and torn apart by the storm's fury, amidst the splintering wood and chaos. A handsome young prince was thrown into the churning depths. Seeing his plight, the Little Mermaid's heart leaped. She swam with all her might, fighting against the violent currents. Finding the unconscious prince, she held him close. Her strength born of a sudden powerful emotion, she brought him through the raging sea, finally laying him gently upon the soft sand of a quiet shore as the storm began to subside. Haunted by the face of the prince she had saved, the mermaid knew she could no longer live without seeing him again. Her desire led her to the darkest, most forbidden part of the ocean, a shadowy abyss where the dreaded sea witch dwelled. The witch, with a smile that was all shadows and sharp teeth, listened to the princess's plea. She offered a deal, a terrible pact. In exchange for a potion that would grant her human legs, the mermaid would have to give up the most precious thing she possessed, her beautiful, enchanting voice. The witch's chilling words echoed in the dark cave, a promise and a curse wrapped in one. Your voice for legs. The bargain was struck. With the witch's potion clutched in her hand, the mermaid swam to the surface one last time. As she drank the glowing liquid, a searing pain shot through her, as if a sword were cleaving her tail in two. When she washed ashore, she was no longer a creature of the sea. She was human, with two legs to walk upon the earth. But the transformation came with a heavy price. Every step she took felt like walking on the sharpest of blades, a constant, agonizing reminder of her sacrifice. Yet, the pain was dulled by the hope that now filled her heart, the hope of finding her prince, of winning his love, and gaining an immortal soul. She soon found her way to the prince's grand palace by the sea. He was captivated by her beauty and her gentle, expressive eyes, though he was puzzled by her silence. He took her in, treating her like a cherished sister, or a foundling he must protect. She followed him everywhere, her love for him a silent, radiant song that only her heart could sing. She danced for him, moving with a grace that hid the torment in her feet, her every glance and smile a story of her ocean home and the deep love she held for him. But without her voice, she could never tell him that it was she who had saved him from the stormy sea. Then came the day the prince's parents arranged for him to marry a neighboring princess. He believed this new princess was the one who had saved his life that stormy night, as he had only a fleeting memory of a woman on the shore when he awoke. The Little Mermaid watched as the prince she adored pledged his love to another. Royal trumpets blared, and celebratory music filled the air, but for her it was a sound of utter despair. Standing in the shadows during the wedding festivities, she felt her heart break, shattering into a million pieces, just like the waves crashing against the cold, unforgiving rocks on the shore. As the wedding ship sailed that night, her mermaid sisters rose from the waves, their hair shorn and their faces pale with grief. They had sacrificed their beautiful long hair to the sea witch in exchange for a final chance to save their sister. They handed her an enchanted dagger. "Plunge this into the prince's heart before the sun rises," they pleaded, "and let his blood touch your feet. You will become a mermaid once more and live out your days with us." The Little Mermaid crept into the tent where the prince and his new bride lay sleeping. She looked at his peaceful face, the face she loved more than her own life. Love, stronger than any spell, held her hand still. She could not do it. With a final loving look at the sleeping prince, she threw the dagger into the sea. As the first rays of dawn touched the horizon, she knew her time was up. She leapt from the ship, plunging into the ocean's embrace. But she did not dissolve into nothingness. Her body became a shimmering, ethereal sea foam, sparkling in the morning light. Instead of ceasing to exist, she felt herself rising, lighter than air, ascending from the sea into the sky. Her pain was gone. Her sacrifice had not been in vain. She was no longer a mermaid, nor was she human. She had become a daughter of the air, an invisible spirit. Other ethereal beings welcomed her, their voices like soft wind chimes. They explained that, because she had striven with all her heart to gain an immortal soul and had suffered with love, she was given a new path. By doing good deeds for humankind for 300 years, she could earn the immortal soul she had so desperately sought. Though she had lost her voice and her earthly love, she had found something far greater, an eternity of hope and the promise of a soul that would never die. Her journey was just beginning. Thank you so much for watching this magical story with us. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to Fairy Tale Fables for more enchanting adventures. Click here to watch the previous episode or check out our full playlist of classic tales. We'll see you in the next story.